Do you love watching movies that take you on an emotional roller coaster? Hey there, anime fans. Are you ready to laugh, cry, and be blown away by some of the best anime movies out there? Well, you're in luck because today we're counting down the top 10 anime movies that will have you saying wow and what did I just watch at the same time. From giant robots to talking cats, these movies have it all. And don't worry, we won't judge you if you shed a tear or two. We definitely did. So grab some popcorn and get ready to laugh, cry, and question your sanity as we dive into our list of the top 10 anime movies. Let's go. Number 10, Dragon Ball Super, Superhero. The only thing good about this movie was the non-canon backstory, Dr. Hedo being a decent enough character and the world design. The characters look awful in this 3-era graphics, and the power-ups come from literally nowhere and make even less rhyme or reason than the worst butt. Pulls that Dragon Ball Z and the worst butt Super have ever done. Gohan's beast form isn't even called Beast in the anime. So it remains an unnamed form and consists of Ultra Instinct Gohan hair, but with the hair way too long, and Orange Piccolo just looks plain ugly and looks nothing like Piccolo at all. The music is largely forgettable, but some of the humor is good. It was nice to see Beerus might have a softer side for some mortals. Number 9, Pokemon. Mewtwo strikes back evolution as someone who grew up with the original Pokemon and the movies. This movie was good for the nostalgia. The 3D computer animation is very well done, but there is a lack of fine details and desperately needs a good polishing. The voice actors are unique, but some don't fit, like Brock, James, and Jesse. I understand they can't get the original voice actors due to reasons. Mewtwo lacks the dimension and character that the original has, and the acting is very weak. He was darker and more believable when he was trying to figure out who he was and where Dew came from. It was difficult for me to not watch this and see the original play out in my head. I do have to give them credit for doing this. I think if they would have been given more time, this would have turned out better. This incarnations still resorts to mostly yelling and powering up to ever increasingly insane levels. The one character who actually was that long. Number 7, My Hero Academia, World Heroes Mission if you're probably a Maha fan. If you're looking for a film to give you a fun night out with friends where you can cheer on some of your favorite characters, this is a good movie. However, if you're looking for a film that takes itself seriously, deepens the plot of Season 5 while preparing for Season 6, fleshes out already well-known characters, has a worthy final villain, or even fight scenes that keep you talking after the movie is over, this is not it. It's lackluster.
There's an abundance of plot holes and the dialogue is flat. The new characters are forgettable at best and
redundant at worst. I'm disappointed in this movie overall. So many good choices could have been made to make this movie stand out from the last two, but unfortunately, it follows the same predictable cycle which ultimately makes it yet another forgettable movie in the franchise. Number 6, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I think I might have enjoyed Jujutsu Kaisen 0 more than the series itself, especially because it managed to be so much in just a less than 2 hour duration without leaving any major loose ends, having experienced it on an IMAX screen, which was a one-of-its-kind experience. I totally enjoyed the film and never realized when time flew by watching it. This is a highly enjoyable action fantasy that works for both who have seen and have not seen the original series. First things first, Mappa does a great job with the animation, especially during the battle scenes in the second half, and the character. Development is intriguingly presented. Yuta Okotsu turns out to be a well-written protagonist, and I wish to see more of him in the next seasons of the series. His bonding with every character seems impressive, be it Maki, Andai, Inumaki, or Gojo. Also, Shuguru Geto as villain is written with complexity. He's a villain, but he's also very calm and disciplined throughout majority of the duration, which made me doubt if he actually was a bad guy. Some characters from the original series make brief appearances, and as someone who watched the series a year ago, I was delighted to see them on the big screen. The action is the biggest positive of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, as it is stylishly choreographed. Beautifully colored, brilliantly drawn, and overall stupendously executed. The colors are gorgeously used during some of these scenes, and that's where I felt my excitement rising to unprecedented heights. Also, the music is good and suits the film's tone and narrative. Some humor is also present, and it's really hilarious. There is emotion too, and it's handled very well. And all this happens in a duration less than 2 hours, which is commendable. If you enjoy action, packed shonen anime, do not miss this film on the big screens, especially after PVR Cinemas gave us Indian anime fans the biggest gift in years. Must watch. Number 5, Spider-Man: Across the Spider. Man, absolutely my favorite movie of all time. I went to see it the day after it came out, and I'm gonna see it again tomorrow. The characters all feel so amazing and unique and full of personality and humor. Characters like Hubby and Pavir, although only added into the second movie, feel like they've been part of the franchise forever, just because of how they interact with the characters and how natural and funny their actions and dialogue are, which are so similar and different than what other Spider variants do all the time, that you can really see that they're all fundamentally versions of the same person. Even minor characters like Lila. Dunno if I'm spelling it right, and Meal's parents have so much added humor, and characters like Sun Spider and other Spider variants make me smile. The writing is beautiful. Every moment feels like it's being used in just the right way. The movie and canon event theory leaves for so much speculation. The relationships in the movie and how characters work with each other, especially the complicated relationship between Miles and Gwen, has me applauding the writers. Miguel and the Spot feel like amazing villains, not just because they're creepy, but because they have backstories and motives that drive the plot forward. Miguel wants to stop Miles from saving his dad because of what happened to his own family and what he believes will happen if canon events aren't followed, and the Spot wants to be acknowledged because of what happened to him in the first movie. Also, the foreshadowing of the bagel made me laugh. And on that note, the humor and jokes are some of my favorite parts of this movie. All of the jokes made me laugh, and they were perfectly incorporated into a movie that is at least a bit dark. The soundtrack with all the themes is amazing, and I could put it on repeat. And then of course there's the animation, which I won't bother going into detail with because it's just too amazing. Each Spider verse has its own art style, which is just so visually pleasing. The action is perfectly executed. The special effects and little details I noticed are awesome to see. Overall, if I could go higher than 5, I would do it in a heartbeat. Best superhero movie I've ever seen. Highly recommend. Number 4. Weathering with You: Incredible build-up and the unforgettable climax. This movie gave me nothing but joyfulness. One of the best movies I have ever watched, opinion. This movie made me feel different. In a good way from other Makoto Shinkai's movies. Although the roller coaster effect of this movie wasn't as good as Your Name, the thrill that this movie provided is on point. All the characters in this movie felt so real and had their own equal participation to the storyline. The animation was superb. I think it was the most beautiful animation on an animated movie in 2019. Last but not least, the music. Radwimps has gotten along really well with Makoto Shinkai's movies since their incredible contribution in Your Name. In this film, Radwimps successfully did a really good job. They successfully made musics that fit perfectly to the atmosphere of the movie. It was not as good as their previous soundtrack in Your Name, such as Zen Zen, Nandemoneya, and Sparkle, but their main song, which was Grand Escape after Homura that played in the climax of the movie, made this movie deserve a solid. Number 3. Doraemon: Stand By Me 2, emotional, beautiful. To begin, I am a fan of Doraemon. And I do love Doraemon, and I do love Doraemon a lot. I did watch this today, and this movie didn't disappoint me in any way. The visuals are beautiful, especially the visuals of the futuristic city. The animations are quite good too, capturing them. emotions shown by the characters quite well. The storyline is quite simple and yet touching. There's an element of surprise to it as well. This movie is about Nobita showing his grandma his future bride. There are many soulful aspects that I really loved. Nobita's love for his grandma, the toy he used to play with, the love between Nobita and Shizuka, and the speech given by Nobita at the end. The movie tries to show how one need not be too successful in life to lead a good life. All one needs is to be kind and loving. The music is quite good as well and captures the atmosphere of the scenes quite well. This movie surely brings memories if you are an adult now and spent your childhood watching Doraemon. If you love Doraemon, just go for it. Number 2. A Silent Voice. This is truly an incredible film. I'm not one to cry while watching movies, but I've seen A Silent Voice 3 times now and get emotional every time. It's a simple story, but one that carries so much weight in its themes and messages, the kind of movie everybody should watch at least once. I've seen some complaints that the main character is too unlikable to be a protagonist, but I couldn't disagree more. Shoya is a deeply troubled young man who seeks to make amends with the girl he used to torment, and though he makes mistakes, that's what makes him so realistic. We've all done things we regret. The true test of character is the way we handle those mistakes. I loved watching his growth throughout the movie, and while I liked Shuko and the other characters, I found Shoya to be the most compelling. This movie also handles darker themes like self-loathing, suicide very well, ultimately giving a message of hope that we so desperately need in this day and age. As a bonus, not only is the story of A Silent Voice amazing, but the art and animation are gorgeous and create a very distinct atmosphere that matches the somber theme and story very well. In conclusion, A Silent Voice is a beautiful, emotional masterpiece in a way that's unlike any other movie I've seen. It's 100 worth the watch. Number 1. Ramayana. The Legend of Prince Rama amazing movie. I watched it as a 7-year-old kid, then as a 13-year-old, and again watched it years later just a few days ago. It made me miss my Mogambo. The animation was amazing and so crisp. Gave an amazing and so crisp. Gave an amazing humane knee. At the same time, the evil touch to Ravan thanks to the emotions expressed by Amrish Puri. This is that one animated movie I can watch again and again. Again, I would like to appreciate the colors, the narration, the tightness of screenplay and editing. The emotions of the Raja Dasharath. I don't even remember now the actor's name, but he did an exceptionally fine job in voice acting. The voiceovers by each actor is beautiful now. Yeah. It was my first anime movie. Wish I watched it the year it came, but I was just a toddler at that time. But I think I have this vague memory of my elder brother watching it, me as a baby being mesmerized by the colorful visuals. I guess it is a big part of my childhood. And that's a wrap on our list of the top 10 anime movies. We hope you enjoyed watching and discovered some new titles to add to your watch list. If you're feeling emotionally drained after watching some of these movies, don't worry, we won't judge you. We definitely cried too. But hey, that's the beauty of anime, right? It can make you feel all the feels. So go ahead and grab some tissues and maybe a pint of ice cream and get ready to dive into the wonderful world of anime. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.